Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. However, I believe, if my schedule's correct, this is the first video that goes live in 2021, which is quite mad to think that. Especially when in most of my says I've been getting to 2021 and thinking I'm quite far in the future, when in reality I'm only a few months ahead. But looking forward to this one, of course, Blood and Guts. We've built it up over the last couple of episodes of Dynamite, and I really think we should be able to surpass the 73 rated show we got the last time, and quite frankly demolish the 21,678 attendance we got at the Thompson Boiling Arena last year, of course not too long into the start of the save. Now, the main event last year, we had the Inner Circle, so it was a 5-on-5 match as they took on Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, Cody, Matt Hardy and Matt Jackson. That's right, Nick had an injury at the time. No, Nick I think had come back from injury just in time. C-Face Pack. So there's a little bit of a worry that we may actually have a poorer show now that I've read that, because the product won't be geared to the type of match we're having. We're still having a War Games match, that's the plan, the 4v4. So we'll just need hope that we don't get too much of a loss from that, and we'll get a good promo rating, the highest promo anyway. But the card's stacked, I'm looking forward to it. I've added a C-list celebrity, we've got an extra 500,000 spent on a set. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your June pay-per-view. This is AEW Blood and Guts. So welcome everyone to Syracuse, New York for an attendance just under 50,000, so doubling what we had last year. And we'll go through our pre-show matches to try and give as many as our talents as possible some action. And we had an abysmal pre-show match that saw the team of Yuka Sakazaki, Anna Jay, Deonna Purrazzo and Chris Statlander defeat Leva Bates, Ashley Lane, Ali and Penelope Ford, the Blue Entourage, in 8:26 when Chris Statlander pinned Leva Bates. Actually, the 47's not too bad there. A lot of performances that are quite poor, but they've got to develop somehow, and an occasion like this can only help their overness, so a good win for the baby faces. Another promo with Absolute Ricky Starks, just saying, you know, it's his time to shine going forward. He's going to make sure he can be on that all-out card coming up in August. And his matchup was against Scorpio Sky. He's unfortunately defeated this time. Apparently it was terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, as Scorpio Sky defeats Ricky Starks in 13:27 with the blackout. A 60 rated matchup, very good there. I felt like these two had meshed quite well, but still too early for Scorpio Sky to be taking a defeat to Ricky Starks. We need to build him up a bit more, but good match. We then had the AEW Trios title on the line. It was an abysmal pre-show matchup that saw the Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus and Marco Stunt defeat Shawn Spears and the Butcher and the Blade in 9:09 when Jungle Boy rolled up the Butcher, which meant it was a third defence of the Trios Championship for the babyfaces. The Butcher was off his game, the Blade's getting a little stale, but a 49 rated matchup, okay, not too bad. Still need to build the Butcher and the Blade up, but that'll take a bit of time. And our main event for the pre-show had subpar wrestling and non-existent crowd heat. It saw the Lucha Brothers, Ray Phoenix and Pentagon, defeat Private Party and the Recruitment Specialists in 15:06 when Ray Phoenix pinned Alex Reynolds with a Meteora. 69, I think that's a good performance there, getting that. Reynolds and Silver, of course, aren't very over, but it's showcasing them in opportunities as we're going to build them up and give them the exposure they've had on AEW Dark, or being the Elite at least, going forward. The show itself, and I realised, thankfully, when I obviously said in the intro my main event wasn't the 4v4, I opted to go with MJF and Moxley because of the way I wanted this to go. So one thing that really gives me a bit of optimism, we have the 100 promo, so it's all down to the main event match, and we're going to get a boost as well, so we could see this show in the 80s or the 90s. That's positive. So it's just Jon Moxley saying he's had enough of the crap from MJF, he's going to beat him up and just get it over and done with. MJF just says he wants to rid of Jon Moxley to get back focused on the AEW World Championship, but they finally come to a head tonight in your main event. Opening contest though was for the Tag Team Championships, and in a decent matchup the Young Bucks defeated the Hybrid 2 in 13:45 when Nick Jackson pinned Angelico with the Meltzer driver, giving the Bucks the second defence of the World Tag Team titles. The purpose of this one obviously was to give a good challenger, something that would mesh well with the Bucks, so a 78 is very good there, a good showing for Angelico and Jack Evans, but for now I'm keeping the belt on the Young Bucks. After the match they celebrate to an 81 rated angle. Our next matchup was for the TNT title, and it saw Claudio Castagnoli defeat Brian Cage in 11:55 with a neutralizer, giving Castagnoli the 10th defence of the title. A very respectable 73 matchup here, but I just felt like I want to keep the belt on Castagnoli for a wee bit longer, and there's obviously still things I want to do with Cage and his teammate Jacob Fatu. We then had a backstage angle where we had the women's champion Shayna Baszler kind of get like a revenge attack against her. Obviously we know she's taken out Toni Storm, she's had many problems and took out Nikki Storm since she won the AEW women's title from her, and the two of them get some revenge and beat Shayna down backstage. That's a 66 rating, and maybe Shayna's maybe not as dominant, not as feared as she maybe thinks she is. They had Kenny Omega cut a promo on Brody Lee, and he just says he's sick of Brody Lee, he's sick of the Dark Order, and it's time for him to get a big win on pay-per-view so he can get himself into contention for the AEW World Championship and chase after Hangman. Match itself was a 77. Unfortunately, Kenny and Brody didn't click, although if they did click, I think that would lead to a very, very good matchup. But we had Brody Lee defeat Kenny Omega in 17:59 with a running big boot. The finish saw Kenny Omega be distracted by Darby Allin. So a long way to go with this feud, but a 77 still respectable, and Brody gets hopefully a little gain of overness there. And after the matchup, Brody Lee's like, you know what, Darby Allin, you've done yourself well here, you've done the Dark Order proud, and he shakes Darby Allin's hand as a mark of respect. So that was an 80, very good there. We then had the big matchup between AJ and Pac, and in the superb matchup, AJ Styles picks up the win over Pac in 18:43 with a quick cradle. So a 77 overall, 71 from AJ, played in 90 from Pac. The reason for this one, you've just signed AJ Styles, you can't have him losing already, so he gets the big victory. Negatives there, declining physical ability of AJ, and because both guys are heels, they're a wee bit arrogant, but we obviously loosely enforce that so we can get away with heel versus heel matches to a bit more of an extent as you normally would. Then had the AEW World Championship on the line, and in a superb matchup, Hangman Page defeated KENTA in 25:56 with the Adam's Apple following a distraction from his friend Shawn Spears. This was the 6th defence of the world title for Hangman. KENTA was just a bit of filler in there, he'll have a good run lower down the card, but built him up well. Good opponent for Hangman, a very good 82 performance overall between the two of them. KENTA just with a 68 being off his game, and Hangman main event worthy at 92, so delighted with that. Moving along, we then have just basically Hangman with the Butcher the Blade and Shawn Spears just celebrating the fact that he's still champion, and that's a 56. Then I had Chris Jericho talking about the big matchup what I'm about to embark on, and he just says, Sammy, I'm going to beat you down to a bloody pulp in the middle of this matchup and show, the Inner Circle were just wrong to turn its back on Chris Jericho, but Chris Jericho doesn't need them. That was an 82 rated promo. Now this is good, so this matchup works under this new wrestling nerd Nirvana compared to how it did at the start, so that's good. So we had a decent matchup. The Inner Circle, Sammy Guevara, Santana Ortiz and Jake Hager defeat Cody, Chris Jericho and the Natural Nightmares in a War Games match, and in a Blood and Guts match we'll call it, in 24:49 when Sammy Guevara pinned QT Marshall with the 630. QT was a weak link, big showcase for him, but he was always going to take the pinfall here, and Sammy gets that win over Jericho and Cody as well, of course. And after the matchup, Cody's not happy with QT Marshall, a bit of distension in the ranks, but now he just basically blames him and just says, we've tried to drag you so far in this company and you've done nothing but let us down. So that's a 69. I'm intrigued to see where that goes going forward. MJF ready for the main event, 87. He just says, John, I've got Wardlow in my corner. This is it. This is the end of Jon Moxley, and this is me going back to be the #1 contender for the AEW World Championship. I'll put myself higher in the ranks, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Please match do well. Just a 76, a lack of psychology. Oh, that's going to cost us so much. A 94 and a 90, I think we could have been looking at easily at an 85 there. But yet again, psychology does me in this game for trying to have a lengthy matchup. But it was an exceptional matchup. Jon Moxley defeats MJF in 23:44 by referee stoppage when MJF was injured and it could not continue. So a very dodgy finish there, but it keeps MJF from getting pinned or submitted, and Jon Moxley gets the win in this feud. So a few negatives there. We end the show. Moxley's not himself. He's a bit perplexed. He's like, I really didn't mean to injure him, like, not this way. I want to hurt him, but not cause the injury that I have here. What does this mean for MJF going forward? What does this mean for Jon Moxley going forward? Well, that, my friends, is why you need to tune in to the next episode of AEW Dynamite. But anyway, 79 for that. Overall, the show gets an 86, which has increased their popularity in 56 regions. The Moxley MJF self-promo absolutely saves us, despite not a strong main event. I'd be intrigued to see how we would have done with Hangman versus KENTA as the main event. I wasn't actually confident in that, so Hangman and KENTA certainly surprised me, but a very good 86 show there and increase their pop in 56 regions, so that'll keep us a bit more, especially in the US, a way further from going down to a lower size. What it also means as well is obviously our pay-per-views, we're obviously broadcasting in more areas, which is why we get 56 rather than Dynamite where we lost the UK. But there's plenty of places around the world we need to get. We need to be the main company in America, and then so on and so forth. So I'm going to call it there. I know normally we go back to the main screen, but there are some new signings that you can't find out about just yet. So yeah, we need to avoid that until then, because, you know, spoilers. But thanks for watching. Enjoy 2021. Let's make this a hell of a year. And hopefully we can take EW to great lengths. So thanks for watching, stay safe, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.